We're in the cold tub. Check out the timestamp right here. I'm going to go into crazy detail about this bad boy, but look at the temperature. I feel like I'm a pansy. It's only 55 degrees. It's cooling down. This thing does amazing. The fact that I have room for my shoulders, my legs, it's XL. If you really wanted to be able to get two people in here, you could, but it does a great job. I love this. Okay, let's jump to the full review where you are going to see me go into crazy detail about everything of how amazing this is. So you just saw me in the cold tub. This thing works so well. Now what I want to do is I want to jump into literally all the functions and features behind the whole thing, because when I was in there, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk normal. So I'm going to slow down. I'm going to tell you guys about everything, even the chiller, maybe the types of chillers that you want, all the ins and outs. So let's jump into that. The first thing that's great about this that I love, one, the aesthetics. I think it looks amazing. But the biggest thing that's great about this one compared to others is it is XL length. What that means is it's actually longer and a little bit wider, maybe not the unit itself, but what you actually have inside here. What's important about that is if you have really broad shoulders, when you're sitting down, and if you're in smaller units, you feel really confined. This one, you feel you at least can be a little bit more comfortable when you're uncomfortable in the cold tub. You can also stretch your legs all the way out depending on how you're sitting. So that's nice. You got more leg room, which is great. Honestly, depending on how you have it set up, depending on your size, you could probably fit two people in here at one time because of the size. Now, doesn't mean that you're gonna have tons of room, but you could. This thing could also double for a hot tub, okay? What's really nice about that is we have the chiller hooked up. Now, there are these hookups right here. I'm gonna be explaining why we got it like this, but I'm gonna also talk about how you can use that. If you have a water heater, this could literally double for a hot tub, which is really nice. But this one is currently being used for a chiller, a cold tub. And they did a really good job at it. So the chiller itself right now is currently set to 55. When I was in it, I think it was 54 degrees, but it's kind of just toggling back and forth with this chiller. One thing that's really important to note as far as what chiller to choose is there's a lot of them, okay? There's ones that are like quarter horsepower. There's one that are half, tenth. So this one is a third actually, and then there's quarter. But long story short, you're wanting to be able to make sure that if you're going to be using this tub with a chiller, use one that can go up to at least 79 gallons. I think that's like the most common. And that's usually like the third horsepower or quarter horsepower. There are ones like this one that can go up to 110 gallons that can circulate that much water, that can easily keep it cool with the coils that they got in there. So be very aware of that. But long story short, whatever chiller you choose, even if you chose a 10th horsepower, it's still going to cool it down. Maybe just not get as cold because of the size, the amount of water that you got. So how you could do that is you have these hoses right now. We just have them sitting over the top because that's what was chosen. I mean, we got it inside. You could use this thing outside if you want, very easily. If you use it outside, a pro tip that I would say is, even though that the bottom itself, like what I was sitting on, is a little bit insulated, it has some material to it, it might be a good idea to be able to throw down some padding, some carpet or something like that if you're using it outside, because A, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable, B, it'll keep this a lot more insulated, which is great. Talking about insulation, this thing killed it. It is so strong. Check this out. The build quality on this is amazing. Look at this. Okay. This thing, I'm sitting on it just totally normal. I mean, all my weight is right here and it can totally withstand it. Very, very well built. Now, you're not going to be doing that when you're doing the cold tub, but just wanted to be able to show you the strength. This right here, holding all the weight. What's nice about that is when you're getting in and out of the cold tub, you can put your weight into this versus having to like be dainty. No, this thing has the strength to it. You're totally fine. So on the actual inside of this, the way that it's insulated does a phenomenal job at doing it for a water chiller so that it's not just constantly having to go. But honestly, what you can do is this. You can use ice. What's nice about this is you can literally just throw the ice in. Now, say you don't have a chiller, you can just do ice. And don't think you have to be using ice all the time because of how well insulated this thing is. You can just throw ice in there, throw this on, and it's going to be able to keep that nice and chill, which is really, really nice. Other things to note that I really like is it does have these clamps, okay? So on the lid right here, you got four of these, okay? You got one on each side, so you got 1, 2, and then all the way over here, 3 and 4. So what's good about that is you can put it down. So say if you do have this outside and it's windy or something like that, it's not going to blow away. But more importantly, I think for 2 reasons, is for making sure that if you got little kiddos and you don't want them getting in, you can tighten this down. These are really heavy duty locks, so your kids are not going to be opening these bad boys. But you can do that so that it's locked down. And then the other one is since it's totally encased, like I can't get my fingers in there at all, which is really, really nice. It's going to be able to keep that insulation, A, for the cold tub, or B, if you're using it as a hot tub, which is really nice. but you just got to be nice and strong. Finger strength right there. You can pop it up. So that's what's really great about this. I love the simplicity of this. All you have to do is just get the attachment that just goes on right here, and then you would be using the pipes or the tubes just to go right in, water out, very simple. How to actually inflate this is this guy right here. It comes with this, by the way. All you do is you open this up, you plug this in, you twist, and you start pumping. It doesn't take a long time, maybe 3 minutes from totally deflated to inflated. But one thing that's cool about it right here to note, it actually has a PSI gauge right here. And right there, 7.9, why I'm showing you those is you don't want to go above 8 PSI on this. And kind of another pro tip, if you go up to 8 PSI, you're like, okay, good, I got it at 8 PSI. Know that when you fill this up with water, because of physics, all that pressure pushing out, it's going to be a little bit higher. So be aware of that. Maybe go like 7, maybe 6.5, whatever that may be, because it surprisingly is really sturdy at a low PSI because of how they built this with the amazing job that they did. Another cool thing that they give you is, I don't think you're ever going to need to use this, but just in case there's a rip, it comes with patches, which is really nice. Same material, so it won't like look weird when you put it on. Like honestly, I think it just like disappears when you put it on, which is really nice. So you got patches as well as a dry case if you need this. But really, they did a phenomenal job. I love the aesthetics. So stinking cool. I hope you guys have a great time however you use this, whether it be inside or outside. We got it inside, and that's it. Hope you guys like it.